That was the really, really big one. In terms of going back and really finding like the gritty Vlog Squad gossip. I never said, here I am probably halfway through the video or more, and I never said like, hey, I want to talk about the nitty gritty Vlog Squad gossip. That's what this video is about. Hey there. Another video with Trisha Paytas in the title. When's she gonna vary up her content? Oh, I don't know. Sorry. I've been packing and getting ready for my move, so I seem a little bit delirious or silly. I would say forgive me, but you're welcome. Yes, this video does have Trisha Paytas in the title, but it is not a video about Trisha Paytas for the most part. However, in the past week or so, I think, Trisha Paytas has gone on the podcast Frenemies, which is a podcast that most of us have heard of and probably watched at this point. And on this episode of Frenemies, Trisha Paytas didn't only talk about David Dobrik and the Vlog Squad, but Ethan seemed to take a vested interest in asking her questions and kind of getting to the heart of what goes on behind the scenes with the Vlog Squad, because they seem to stay so out of drama, and anytime there is some sort of controversy, they seem to fly under the radar.
So let's talk about David. Now, this is all new to me, so I'm really interested to kind of watch all this and get your take on it.
And of course, if the Vlog Squad thought that they were going to stay completely out of trouble for all of YouTube time, surely they were mistaken if they thought that that still applied once Trisha Paytas became a member of the Vlog Squad when she started dating Jason Nash in around December of 2017. So what's the tea on the Vlog Squad? Well, Trisha gave her rundown of her thoughts on David and the Vlog Squad, and it was, for the most part, stuff that we've heard her say before.
That night at the hospital, I went to the mental hospital. He made Jason cut me off, and I never heard from him again. He never was like, are you okay? After I got out of the hospital, nothing. Just cut me off. Said no one can talk to Trisha. No one's allowed to talk about her. He talked about me in a stream one time, a live stream, and that's the only stream he never like re-uploaded. He made sure that was like disappeared off the internet because someone brought me up. So like if you talk, like no one's allowed to talk about me.
How do you know he told Jason don't Jason never contacted you after that?
Yeah, he like blocked me. Well, no, we did talk. We talked secretly for like 3 months.
And what makes you think that it was David?
Because he told me. Because we talked secretly for 3 months. Like we hooked up and stuff.
And Jason said,
I have to dump you. Like I don't have a choice.
Really? Mm-hmm. Have you said that publicly?
Yeah.
That's psycho.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's because
people not believe you?
I think the thing is
so wild.
She talked about controversies within the Vlog Squad, certain racist jokes, mostly made by David Dobrik. She also talked about a few scenarios where she would describe some predatory or predatory feeling situations between members of the Vlog Squad and typically younger people, typically much younger people. And she also, of course, talked about just the ways in which David Dobrik kind of has control over his friends and what they're allowing to put on the internet for the sake of his vlog, even if that means that there's a price tag attached to it. She talked about herself having been placed in a lot of uncomfortable situations, and that ultimately being what ended her involvement with the Vlog Squad, which you may or may not be privy to, but she kind of expanded upon that a little bit more, and in terms of her experience around it, as well as what she witnessed with other members of the Vlog Squad. They talked a little bit about BigNik, and then BigNik later came on the H3 podcast to talk about his experience.
So Nick, you used to be a big part of the Vlog Squad. I remember when I started watching it, you were in almost every video, you know?
No one even knows the full story, and I've been silent for a long time.
Trisha describes being there as like kind of toxic. Would you describe it that way?
It is. I think she has her own agenda, but she's not entirely wrong with all the stuff she says, but she's not always accurate. It's like 50-50, but...
He was a bit more diplomatic, not as scathing towards David Dobrik and the Vlog Squad, but his overall message was that he was never quite comfortable with making a joke of his dwarfism, and yet kind of went along with it because he figured that was the way to grow, and that was how he was helping David Dobrik.
You know the amount of dwarf jokes I endured over these past couple years in his presence? Do you really want to take on that role? He will strip you down. He will make you feel like you're nothing but a grain of sand. You don't understand, though. All dwarves have achondroplasia. I have SED. It's more rare.
See, this is what we're talking about. It's fucking boring, Nick.
How about we put this behind us? Sammy, why don't you give Nick a fist pound and just leave it at that? That's it. God damn, that's so adorable.
But how that would kind of take a toll on him.
And I think it kind of got to that point because I was allowing, and I did allow it, and that's partially my fault, David to like disrespect me in the videos. And so then everybody else just got the notion like, oh, okay, like, you know, we can disrespect BigNik too. It also got to a point where people would recognize me in public, and then they would make jokes like about me, and I'm like, dude, like I don't know you. This is weird, you know. So
like, what kind of jokes? Like
just like making fun of my height and stuff, and just because David did it, and yeah.
So
it was just
so
like,
let me.
So
It seems like they were. It seems like your time in the Vlog Squad, they made you the butt of the joke a lot.
I used to struggle a lot. Like I would even be as a kid, I would be like, you know, complain to my mom, like, Mom, like, why is this, like, why am I going through this stuff? Like, why am I short, blah, blah, blah. And so he kind of, like, with that content, like, opened up that closed wound, per se. And, like, I just didn't like it. People did cheer it on, even though, obviously, I allowed it. And, like, I'm fully responsible for allowing it. I was just kind of disappointed that, like, nobody really thought it was wrong.
It was unclear as to whether he decided to leave the Vlog Squad or if David kind of dropped him from the Vlog Squad. It kind of sounds like both. The way Nick described it is that he went to David, talked to him about how he's uncomfortable with the jokes about his dwarfism, and David was seemingly pretty understanding, but then wasn't inviting him into the vlogs anymore.
So, yeah, I basically told him, like, dude, I don't want to make these jokes anymore. And he was just like, okay, like, that's fine. Like, he was chill about it, whatever. And I knew by saying that I wasn't going to be in the content anymore. But after that, yeah, like, I just, because I didn't want to, like, get made fun of, like, it was just like, all right, like, I respect that, bro. And then that was that. And it wasn't like...
Oh, that sounds fucked up.
Granted, David Dobrik hasn't really made a video since we've been in quarantine, so nobody's really making videos with him. But Nick did refer to the Vlog Squad, particularly under the reign of David Dobrik, as kind of this cult-like thing.
It is kind of like a cult, yeah. It's like a high school vibe, very cultish-like vibe, and you can kind of feel it. Like, even when I would, like, film with people afterwards, I would come home so drained, like just mentally. You know, they gossip behind your back. They have this superiority complex of like, I'm better than you, and you can just feel it in the room without them having to say it.
And I find it interesting because I don't know that I've made... I don't know that you guys know that I have been a huge fan of the Vlog Squad. Not so much in the past year or so. Like I said, they really haven't been doing much together. But around the time that I picked up watching YouTube again, in the summer of 2018 or so, it was really through Trisha Paytas' videos that I started to see these breakup videos back and forth between her and Jason Nash. And at the time I was like, who's this dude? Who's this older guy? What's the deal? What are they doing here? And so in watching those breakup videos, those kind of lobbying back and forth, then they would continue to talk about this person, David this, David that. So then I started to look into Jason Nash's videos, and then from there I started watching David Dobrik's videos, and then from there it was over for me. I was watching just about every channel of every member of the Vlog Squad. And I liked them a lot. And I still do like a lot. I do like a lot of them a good bit. But one thing that I always felt was a bit of a tease was that these people are very tight-lipped about their drama. And I've mentioned this before in passing that whatever their tactic is for keeping their drama under the radar has seemed to be working for them for quite some time. And I think that tactic is simply just don't address it. If something comes up, do not talk about it. Do not address it. But we've seen some things seep through the cracks here and there. Or at least I have, because I was maybe a little too fixated on the Vlog Squad for a little while. Whatever, cancel me. This is a super quick reminder to like this video and subscribe to my channel if that's something you want to do. If that's not something you want to do, just don't. I'll shut up and start talking now. So we saw David Dobrik make some inappropriate racist jokes here and there. We didn't see anything too like sinister or hateful or anything like that. Just like really stupid and ignorant things that he's had to apologize for. He did the YouTuber apology thing. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm a little more interested in this stuff that Trisha and Nick have brought to the forefront, as well as some things that I've kind of learned about over time. I took notes for a couple of the things that I've looked into, but there might be other things that come up later that I might talk about in another video. So going back to these two creators before I really kind of get into that stuff. Like I said, BigNik went on the H3 podcast and he talked about how he was really brought into this group to be the butt of a lot of jokes on dwarfism. And I don't know why it was never why I never cognitively thought about it, but I never liked BigNik in terms of entertainment value. I didn't get what was funny about him. He was never one of the members that I followed. He was never one of the members that I was excited to see when he was on. And now it's occurring to me, it's like, yeah, his one personality trait, his entire personality in terms of how he was displayed in David Dobrik's vlogs, as well as across anybody else's videos, his entire being was his dwarfism. And kind of this wannabe thug character. And I think that also turned me off a little bit. But that was largely what Nick brought to the forefront. Trisha talked a bit more about the control that David has over his friends, about how certain people were of a different value to David. She talked about how she would have to sit in the car sometimes when they made a video because there was only so much room for the better people to be in the videos. And when Ethan asked if this ever happened to anyone else, she did briefly mention only when it was like the boring people like Carly and Erin. So it's something that I've wondered about before. How does David pick who is going to be where and when? She also mentioned a time that was, I guess, when Corrina Kopf and Toddy Smith were dating, or at least hooking up, and how there was some footage of her doing some stuff to him in a Tesla, and how they did not want that footage put in David's vlog, but David pressed until he named, essentially until he named a price that they would accept.
And they begged him not to use it. Like, you can't use that fucking footage. You can't use it. He said, I'll pay you $1,000 if you let me use it. And they're like, no. And they're like, I'll pay you $5,000 or whatever. And like, okay, fine. But they people have expressed that they don't want it in the vlog. And he'll have to either, sometimes he'll take it out. I've seen him take it out. He's never taken it out for me. Or he'll say, I'll pay you or something if I can put it in the vlog.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang around with this guy. You know what I mean? It's like, this guy is fucking just looking to leech everybody's life force out for his fucking dumbass vlog. Yeah. It's easy for him. He's behind the camera. He's never have to deal with being the subject of his bullshit.
Ugh. And that's just kind of how he got his way. He's according to Trisha, these people essentially would do anything for him, and that is how he gets content, without having to put himself in any sort of compromising positions. And also how the laughter among this group would be really drummed up.
Holy shit!
It's like they're just paid to laugh.
And those are some things that I've also kind of noticed myself. Is just kind of like the over exuberant laughter. And I've heard here and there, everything in the vlogs is real, but sometimes they'll do multiple takes of these real life situations, which I never really took much issue with. But when Trisha talks about her discomfort around certain topics, I think it was really easy at the time to kind of brush it off and to just consider Trisha problematic. And, you know, already Trisha is not a very liked person, and certainly wasn't at that time a very liked person across the internet. So when she says, this thing makes me really uncomfortable, it's putting me in a really bad place mentally, I think it was really easy for people to just brush it off or to not know about it. And so, if you didn't know, Trisha's involvement with the Vlog Squad really went hand in hand with her relationship with Jason Nash, which lasted about a year, more or less the entirety of 2018. And in my History of Scandals and Controversies, the 5-parter about Trisha Paytas, we did visit her relationship with Jason Nash and just how toxic that relationship was. So obviously there were various reasons that they broke up, but really everything came to a head when it came to a certain joke that Trisha was uncomfortable with. And the problem with this joke was not just that it's not that it was a one-time thing. It's not like it was a joke that David made that Trisha got really upset about and then went and made an exposed video about or anything like that. This was a joke that was consistently made. It was made at least 3 or 4 times. And each time, Trisha was very clear with both Jason and David that she was uncomfortable. For some reason, David thought it would be funny to try to get Jason, Trisha, and Tana Mongeau to agree to a threesome. It's possible that that originated from Jason. There is footage of Jason jokingly offering to buy David a Ferrari if he could get Tana and Trisha to agree to a threesome with him.
I'll put a lot of money towards a Ferrari.
You'll buy me a Ferrari.
$100,000 cash.
Actually,
you can make that happen. You can't run to Trisha with this piece of video and be like, Jason said.
Damn it.
Trisha says that she is not that bothered by that kind of joke just in and of itself. But a lot of this was around the fact that Jason was so much older than Tana. And I think also knowing that there was a little bit of history there before Jason and Trisha started dating, Jason went on a date for a vlog with Tana. And on that date, when Trisha says that Tana was 18, which might be correct, she was no younger than 18, but no older than 20. But they did go on a date for a vlog in which Jason, I'm not even going to say allegedly, everybody's admitted to it. Jason leaned in for a kiss from Tana, which Tana did not reciprocate. And in telling this story, everybody laughed. Tana laughed, Jason laughed. And his reason for thinking that it was welcome is because she was in the dressing room with him. They went on some sort of date where they did they went shopping and did a makeover. And because she was in the dressing room with him, he thought that that was an invitation for some romance. And at that time, I think she was 18, 19, and he was 44. Jason, Tana could be your daughter. Just by the way. Tana was probably in elementary school at the same time that Jason's oldest child, Wyatt, was. That usually puts things into perspective for me. So I think personally that has something to do with it. Probably knowing that there was some level of attraction towards Tana Mongeau, but also in this kind of creepy, seemingly predatory way. Trisha seemed very bothered by this joke.
Trisha, can you help me with my video? You would do anything for me?
I do anything for you.
Can you and Jason have a threesome with Tana?
I think she's in Australia.
Down to Tana's house and Jonah thinks she's there.
Where are you?
I just got off a plane at LAX. How'd you know?
This is our ask.
Okay. You know I'm taken though, right?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, because I just feel like you're about to ask me to fuck someone.
No.
Okay.
Would you have a threesome with Jason and Trisha? How do you feel about Jason wanting to have a threesome with you?
But why me, Jason? You could do better.
Because he likes broken girls. Is that true or true?
Yeah, it's
true. It hurts me. But it also disgusts me. And
at one point even, we see her stripped naked in David's house in protest, more or less.
Do you ever have a threesome?
It doesn't entice me as much.
Tana just called, actually. She wanted to.
Again, not interested. Trisha, put your fucking clothes on. It's not funny. It's
You
not.
want to have a Tana joke? I'm going to have.
David said that. I didn't say anything.
You made that joke.
I made what joke?
That'd be so funny for the vlog. You know what else would be funny for the vlog?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This relationship is over.
Honestly, it seemed to piss off Jason, so it seemed pretty effective in getting Jason to stop talking about it, but then just ended up giving David more footage, so. And because it would keep coming up in David's vlogs, because he wouldn't stop making the joke, Trisha took off all of her clothes, hoping that that would mean that David wouldn't use the footage, and perhaps just to upset Jason for going along with it at all. And the way she talks about it, she says that this joke would come up. David would try to ask this of Tana, and Tana would say, no, I don't want to do that. No, that's gross. Sorry. No offense, but no. Which is all pretty consistent with what's actually been shown in videos. So I get it. I get why that would be so upsetting. I don't know that it necessarily warranted that big video that really ended her involvement with the vlog squad, but I get it. And another topic that she brings up a lot that I agree with entirely. She talks about Brandon Calvillo. I've talked about Brandon Calvillo at least on the Girlmance podcast once or twice. And I did mention it in at least one of my main channel videos. I too am very bothered by the beginning of the relationship between Brandon Calvillo and Lacey James. To give you kind of a recap, according to Brandon and Lacey, when the two of them started talking, they met on Bumble. When they started talking, Lacey was 17 but lied about her age and said she was 18 on the app. Started talking to Brandon, started talking in a romantic sense. They went on some dates, and then somehow it was revealed that Lacey was 17 years old. Brandon says that he was very upset with Lacey at that time, and they stopped talking for some time, and then when she turned 18, they reconciled their differences. And so they started dating. The problem is that there is a vlog on David's channel, or there was a vlog on David's channel, in which he kind of crashes one of their first dates. And in that video, Brandon and Lacey really just laid out all of the actual facts, or what it seems like to me, with timelines and everything. When that video was recorded, Lacey was definitely 17 years old, and Brandon was either 23 or 24. He says her name. He says, her name is Lacey. We've been dating for around a month. He says she's 18, 19. David jokes, I hope. They laugh. When Lacey gets in the car, David proceeds to ask if Brandon is good at sex. To which Lacey says, actually, yeah. In the beginning, Brandon talks about how old Lacey is by saying that she is 18, 19.
You've been seeing this girl for a month?
Around a month, yeah.
Do you love her?
God. Her name's Lacey. She's 18, 19.
You're like, I hope.
As if he's somehow unsure of her age, which I find very hard to believe. I think that he was trying to make her sound older than she was, for sure. And then when Lacey gets into the car, David asks her questions about their sex life. And Lacey goes on to talk about their sex life.
Is Brandon good at sex?
Honestly, yeah. Like,
hell yeah, Brandon. What's up?
I'm not.
And then she proceeds to talk about having sex with other people as well, like having multiple partners at that time, which I found to be disturbing for a girl who was 17 years old. But anyway, that was... That didn't require anything of Trisha, and I'm sorry, I don't care for anybody who says, like, why didn't she whistleblow any sooner? That was not her job. That self-incrimination was out there. And it's disgusting. And it's not simply because she was a few months away from 18. Like, I just don't see why a guy in his mid-20s would feel okay with himself dating a girl who's 17 or 18. Like, sorry to any of you out there who are in your late 20s or later dating somebody who's 18, but just There are so many things about that situation that's frustrating, but just I think part of it for me is just how stupid do you have to be to put all that information on a video like that for a huge creator? Like, these things can't be fact checked. So that was the really, really big one. In terms of going back and really finding like the gritty Vlog Squad gossip. I never said, here I am probably halfway through the video or more, and I never said like, hey, I want to talk about the nitty gritty Vlog Squad gossip. That's what this video is about. Or at least what I've been able to find. So that was the big one. That one's not a huge secret. Like I said, Trisha has kind of blown the whistle on that for the past year and a few days. And honestly, considering how happy she looks now, I can't decide for her what's worth it, but I would say, like, good on you, girl, for bringing that forward to the world. I'm sorry that it resulted in so many hard times, but I think that more people needed to know about what was going on between Brandon Calvillo and Lacey James. I haven't seen much from Brandon Calvillo in the way of social media, and I don't think I've seen him in David's vlogs since then. So I guess justice was maybe had within the scope of the Vlog Squad sphere. Walking back, looking at just some of the other members, we've seen that Jeff Wittek can be a bit problematic. I've talked about him in a couple of videos. I think if it hadn't been for the lockdown, we might have seen more situations. He was part of that weird stage situation between Logan Paul and Cody Co. That was on Jeff's channel.
I just want to start this off by saying I do respect you a lot. I am a big fan of your videos. Okay. And I'm not going to do anything horrible to you here today. Okay. I know you've seen the show. I've done a lot of terrible things in this place.
Can you not do that?
I'm not going to do anything like that. I promise you. You are safe here. We're good. It was good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
I got one last surprise for you. Nothing bad's going to happen.
Who's here?
Your favorite YouTuber.
Are you serious?
There he is. I'm nicer, dude. You don't care about
cyberbullies kids.
Kids?
You're a
kids?
I don't like cyberbullies, and you're a cyberbully.
I'm sorry for bullying you.
There was his situation, his run-in at a Starbucks with Trisha Paytas, and then he proceeded to go and talk about it on the Scottcast podcast. She said she noticed him, and then when it was time to pick up his order, he was nowhere to be found, that his drink and his sandwich were just waiting there and he never picked it up. So she deduced from that situation that for whatever reason he was uncomfortable and left Starbucks. She said that she reached out to Jason concerned and asked, what did I do? Does Jeff hate me? He just left Starbucks without even picking up his order because I walked in. Now, we mentioned earlier that the Vlog Squad knows that what's best for them is not to address drama or at least smaller things or anything that hasn't gone public. Essentially anything that doesn't require being addressed. And Jeff broke that rule by talking about this whole situation on the podcast he shared with Scotty Sire at the time called Scottcast.
I don't respect that person. I'm not going to fake a handshake to avoid an awkward situation. I actually thrive on that awkwardness, and I like to make it more awkward. So maybe something will come out of it that I could make a big fucking joke out of, because I like that shit. I'm entertained by it. Now, I can't just go around assaulting everybody, because then I'd be in jail.
He said that, no, he wasn't going to say hello and shake her hand because she fucked over one of his friends. So I don't know which of his friends he's referring to there, whether that be David, Jason, Brandon. We don't know. I don't think it matters. But his reasoning for not saying hello or acknowledging her or leaving altogether is because he wanted to make things awkward. That's his way of dealing with that. The situation was already awkward, so he's going to make it more awkward. And that's how he gets back at someone. Jeff, honey, you probably should have just let this one go. Because I don't think you can make running out of a Starbucks look tough at all. But he did say that the reason he makes things awkward is because he can't go around assaulting everyone.
So this was the picture. It was from Todd's Instagram. And it's in Fanjoy merch. This was the promo shots for Fanjoy for David Dobrik. it's Jeff like punching Todd or whatever, or like throwing his arms at Todd or whatever. It's like a friend thing, I guess. The caption of it by Todd was, this was right after my video, right? And everyone was making the comments. It says, he's assaulting me.
Everybody realizes that somebody is a psychopath and they shouldn't have a platform. They still have their platform, you know, they still have their audience and they still could share their opinion on stuff, and they could be absolutely crazy in a mental institution and they come out and they still have a YouTube channel.
I did get confirmation that he was charged with the felony and that he was convicted of something, and that something did involve Speaking of the Scott cast, Scotty Sire. I think that gradually over time, I really started to really just build a soft spot in my heart for Scott. When people do talk about the Vlog Squad, even if they have negative things to say about the Vlog Squad, they'll talk about the members and how like this is bad and that is bad and yuck this and ugh that. But Scott's really nice. So it's kind of always been, in terms of what I've heard, just common knowledge that Scotty Sire is a nice guy. Interestingly enough, I received a cameo from Scotty Sire one year for my birthday. I guess because I went to one of his shows, people thought that I was a bigger fan than I was, but that's okay. That's cool.
Thanks for coming to the show in DC. That's dope. And I want to give a shout out to your cats, Oliver and Atticus.
Scotty Sire, shouting out my cats.
Cat shout out. Where are the cats at? Let me say hi.
But I was bummed when I found out that apparently Scotty Sire called Jen Dent a nasty word, a D word, a gay slur, because she criticized Curtis Lepore. I wasn't following any of these people around the time of the Curtis and Jesse situation. It sounds like it was a shit show for anybody who is in the Vine community. But I've never used that word. I've never called anyone that. And it just like, it amazes me that somebody as nice as Scotty Sire is supposed to be. I'm not as nice as people make him out to be. I just don't get it with these like young influencers and the words that they use. Like, I feel like something happened between when I was growing up and when these people were growing up. There was some sort of regression where certain terms, certain slurs became okay to use. Like it's like freaking 1960. But anyway, Jen did go on to say that like he's probably a nice guy, probably just caught him at a bad time. I'm sure he's still a nice guy, but I can't unknow that fact now. And so that's a bit upsetting. It's just all of this is just making me kind of disenchanted with the Vlog Squad. And like I said, they're not in David's videos anymore because he's not making them. So who cares? Maybe this is my breakup with the Vlog Squad and Scotty Sire, because apparently he knows me. He did put me on his Instagram stories and on his page for his merch company. Anyway, Scotty Sire referred to Gabbie Hanna once as scary. And if I'm letting you guys know that now, that means that I talked to the person who told me that and they said I could share that. I know some things that involve a certain YouTuber that doesn't like me and her sexual involvement with a couple of members of this group. And I'm going to... not going to go there. But I mean, you guys want me to tease you a little bit, right? Which I think is funny because I do want to talk about Gabbie for a sec. Obviously, we know that Gabbie was once a member of the Vlog Squad and there was some sort of falling out. She says nothing happened. They just grew apart. Nothing happened. She just doesn't have time to hang out with them anymore or whatever. But I believe, this is just a theory of mine, but I believe to some degree Gabbie was jealous of Liza's relationship with David. We know that there's a good bit of jealousy that happened between Gabbie and Liza, and around Gabbie and Liza's relationship with David, because she did talk about how David didn't make time for her anymore after she introduced the two of them.
Once upon a time, there were these two people. We'll just call them David and Gabbie.
Wow.
They hung out all the time. He would text her every day and say, what are you doing? Let's hang out. Come over, knock on my door. We'd go on Target adventures. We would go to screenings together. And then one day, Gabbie introduced David to this girl named Liza, and then they never talked to her again in the end.
And we heard from Alex James that Gabbie started going to therapy because of her jealousy of Liza Koshy. But there was something about those videos where Gabbie just kind of was like honestly bitching out David and Liza for the altering of their friendship. I think that possibly Gabbie was jealous that David didn't choose her. I could be wrong. And when I say I could be wrong, that is me letting you know I am making a speculation that I am not going to purport is fact. Just FYI. I talked about this too in my first Gabbie video that, sparked my growth on this platform. I did talk about the Jeanette Riot tweets.
Literally, nothing happened.
But that's interesting because there were some tweets. Again, it's all about Twitter with her. Or maybe not her.
Well, I have some news. My source in Vlog Squad messages me this morning saying to be quiet about this, but I'm going to say it. David and Liza are broken up. Liza and David are still figuring things out, how to be friends. Once they get comfortable, they will announce a breakup but be very friendly again. The two are trying to be friends, but have decided they are not together. What David said was him trying really hard to avoid admitting the breakup amidst all the speculation. They are still broken up though, sis, so unless you hear them both say it, then get ready for them to officially announce a breakup. Sad but true.
People were kind of trying to figure out who this kind of Vlog Squad insider was. People found that Gabbie's real name is Gabrielle Jeanette Hanna. Slight difference in the spelling, but it's too close of a coincidence, especially for somebody who's in with the Vlog Squad. If they're in with the Vlog Squad, why, I don't know, maybe they didn't know Gabbie's middle name. I don't buy it. And this account knew a lot before the rest of the world did. And people noticed that although there was a slight difference in spelling, the name on this account, Jeanette Riot, Jeanette, is Gabbie Hanna's middle name. And there's no reason not to believe this account because, again, this person had information that the rest of the internet did not have. So you cannot convince me that this account was not either Gabbie herself or that arrogant ass little sister of hers.
I get more likes in 20 minutes than you have followers. And whether or not you think my ratio is good or you think I get enough likes or views, you are still more irrelevant than me. So if you want to call me irrelevant, what do you think that makes you?
That either is way too involved in her business on the internet or she uses as a scapegoat, as she always claims that, you know, I'm not the one who watches these videos, my sister watches them for me, or she told me that she didn't know about a tweet that I tagged her in, but her sister told her about it. So I think if it's not Gabbie, it's her sister. But one thing that keeps coming up, or used to come up a good bit early on in my channel in the comments, people would often mention a time, if I can find the video, I know it exists, it's hard to find, but if I can find it, I will. There is a video that was on the Carly and Erin channel years ago. If I'm not mistaken, it had to have been 2016 because I don't think any of them were on YouTube in 2015. And in this video, somebody sent cupcakes to Erin to cheer her up because she got cheated on. And Gabbie was like singing, twerking, dancing.
Erin got cheated on. Erin got cheated on. So we get the cupcakes. I don't know what I'm doing.
We have to remember that we're not being entirely voyeuristic into people's true lives. They're deciding what they show us. So I don't take that as like, tea. What is tea though? Is that I've seen in these comments that I've seen in comments and on Reddit where people talk about this situation where Erin was cheated on. And some people have said like, oh, TJ cheated on Erin. TJ is Erin's, I was going to say fiance, but now they're officially married. Because their wedding got pushed back so much because of COVID, they went ahead and got officially married, and they will have a ceremony whenever. And if you don't watch Carly and Erin, I actually used to love their channel, or Erin Gilfoy, her channel, then you don't know of TJ. But TJ is just this seemingly very like sweet and timid guy who is just over the moon for Erin. So when people talk about this situation in the comments, some people are flabbergasted. Oh my goodness, TJ would cheat on Erin, who, that's so sad. I have noticed that somebody in my comments once clarified and said that was not TJ that cheated on Erin. It was somebody before him or something like that. So please don't bring his name into this. However, I can do math. And in one video, which I know I won't be able to find.
What's your first memory with each other on Valentine's Day? Oh, I know mine. We've spent 5 Valentine's Days together.
But I believe it was around this time last year, she said that they had spent 5 Valentine's Days together. And it really kind of gave you kind of a timeline for when their relationship started. And their relationship started for sure before that video was made about having cupcakes because Erin got cheated on. So unless there was some sort of break shortly after they started dating, when she started dating someone else and then got cheated on, I mean, if their relationship was consistently those 5 Valentine's Days and beyond, that had to have been TJ that they were talking about. It's just, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting how they keep this stuff covered up, even though part of it is out there on the internet. And that's about all I can think of for now. I just thought it was interesting that we talk a good bit about drama on this channel and analyze situations, but I've never talked about this group of people that I followed pretty closely for a good bit of time and liked a lot of the members and still do, but that voyeuristic part of me that does exist has always just kind of been really curious about what's going on behind the scenes. And thanks to Trisha and BigNik, some of it has come to light. And thanks to the internet being the internet, there are little breadcrumbs here and there if we want to go find them. So if you know of anything else that I haven't mentioned, I think it would be a fun conversation to have. I don't know, maybe we'll have another video about this, maybe not. Maybe the vlog squad is done with. Quarantine is weird. All right, I'm bad at ending videos. Please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so. You can always undo it. And if you watched to this point, please either let me know in the comments or leave a like. Or both. You can do both. That'd be nice. I mean, it helps. There's one of you out there who just hit the like button. And so to you, the one person who's watching who's not me, thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for hitting the like button. And you'll see me in the next video. All right, thanks. Bye.